Well, hello, boys and girls. It's Mr. Roberts, and I know what you're thinking. Why are we watching another video of Mr. Roberts? It's because when I was supposed to have my class with you last time, I was really sick. Man, you wouldn't want to see me. I kind of look like this. I kind of look like that. Yeah, and then sometimes I looked like that. And sometimes I even looked like this. Oh, all green. It was really terrible. But I'm glad that I'm not sick anymore. That's all gone. Get these things to go away now. But since I didn't get to spend time with you, I thought that I would do this video so that at least you could see part of the lesson that I did with the other kids. So I wanted to talk to you today about sometimes we go to the library and we want to learn things. So to learn things, we might get what we call a non-fiction book. I might get a non-fiction book like this. And I think I've talked to you guys a little bit about non-fiction books. This book is all about goats. Aren't they cute? Look at that. This is like 3D goat. Check it out. Awesome. So if I wanted to learn real facts about goats, I might get a book like this, which is pretty cool. And I love this picture of the baby goat in the front. Isn't it cute? So I would come into a book like this, and I would look in the pages and read some cool facts. Like some goats are farm goats and other goats are wild. Groups of goats are kept on pastures. That's that green stuff that they're standing on. Yeah, a pasture, an open area of land. Check this out. Hairy goats are many colors. They have white, brown, gray, or black hair. Some goats have spots or stripes of color. So this book is giving me a lot of great facts about goats. Like this. Goats' tails are short and point up. Goat hooves have 2 toes. Most goats have 2 horns. Think about that. What would it be like if you only had 2 toes? You'd be kind of like a goat. Goats eat many things. They eat grasses and weeds. They like to eat just about anything. They eat woody plants and leaves. I have a friend who has a goat, and that's really cool, but it likes to eat just about anything. Look at this baby goat. Isn't that cute? Baby goats, check this out, guys. Baby goats are called kids. They drink milk at first, then they start eating plants. Did you know that baby goats are called the same thing that human kids are called? They're called kids. Wow, I didn't know that. That doesn't mean that we're goats, does it? I don't think so. Anyways, if I wanted to learn facts, I could get a really cool book like this about goats in our library. I'm going to read a story for you a little bit later, and it's about a goat. But I wanted to show you another place. You could go online on your iPads to a site called Pebble Go. This is a really cool site that you can get on, and to get on is easy. I'm going to hit this login button there, and guess what the username and password is? It's the same thing as what you call a young goat. It's kids. So I'm going to type in KIDS, and then I'm going to do it again right down here in my password, KIDS, kids, and go. Check it out. Now I'm in, and I want to look up goats. So I'm going to click in here and type in goats and see what, oh, there's goats. It shows up. I'm going to click on goats. And here's some more information about goats. So just like my book has pages, this actually has tabs. So I could learn different things about the goat depending on the tab that I click. So I'm going to go up here back on body. And the cool thing about Pebble Go is that it'll actually read to you. So I'm going to see if it can read to me. I'm going to hit this sound button right here and
Goats
listen.
have long bodies, short legs, and short tails. Goats weigh between 20 and 250 pounds, 9 and 113 kilograms. Their hair is curly and soft, or short and coarse.
Wow, it just read to me, and I just heard something that amazes me. A goat could be 250 pounds. Man, that's a big goat. Now check this out. Down at the bottom, there's some other cool things you can do. Do you see the little chipmunk with looking thing with the stuff coming out of his mouth? If you click on that, you can listen to the sound of the goat. So I'm going to see if I can get that to work. Ooh, let's hear what a goat sounds like. Oh, that's cool. Wow. Okay, so that's a pretty cool feature. And right next to it, there's this video screen. So if you click on that, it'll actually show you a little video of goats. Let's see what happens here. Look at those goats. Are they fighting each other? What are they doing? Really cool. So you can learn all about goats and a lot of other things on Pebble Go. That's just a really neat site. So I think that's available on most of your iPads. So it's just something that's pretty neat that you can use. Okay, so I said that I was going to read you a story about goats, but also I'm going to read you a story that has to do with knitting. Can you see this beautiful scarf that I have on? This scarf was created by knitting, okay? And someone takes yarn and they knit together. Now my wife does some cool things with, it's kind of like knitting, so I asked her if she wouldn't mind if I did a little, oops, what's that guy doing? Get out of here. That's how I felt before. If she would do me a little video on a kind of knitting that she does. It's not really the same thing. It's very close. It's called crochet. So check this out. Oops. Oh, you're my wife. Yeah, that's right. All right. Okay, my wife, and it looks like you're doing something down there. Like, what are you doing down there?
Okay, well, I'm actually crocheting.
Crocheting? What is crocheting, really?
Well, I am kind of creating something to wear, but I'm using yarn and one needle.
Is that like knitting?
Well, kind of like knitting, except I only use one needle.
So knitting uses 2 needles?
Yes.
Okay, and this is just using 1 needle. What did you call this?
This is crochet.
Crochet. So it's kind of like knitting, but it's not.
Right. So right now, I am trying to continue some of my knitting. Do you want to see what I'm making?
Yeah. So can yeah. Can you
Okay.
hold it up? Let's see what it is that you're making.
Here it is. Can you guess what this is?
Yes. That is a sock.
No, it's not a sock.
It's not.
Can you take a little look? Let me put it this way.
Let's see. It's a hat.
No, it's not a hat. But
Okay.
I am trying to make something since winter is coming, and I'd like to.
Oh, mittens.
Scarf.
Oh, it's a scarf. I was gonna say scarf.
Yes.
Yeah, awesome. Okay, so can I see what you're doing there?
So in crochet, you have different types of stitches, and I'm using something called a shell stitch. And all I do is I take my needle, I wrap some yarn around it, I put it in one of my former stitches, and I kind of pull it through 2 loops, and then pull it through 2 loops again, and then I'm
That
done.
looks hard.
No, not too hard. It's kind
Okay.
of fun, aren't you?
So how long did it take you to make that whole thing?
I think this took me maybe a couple of days because I went back and forth.
Just 2 days to make all that?
Yeah, because I
Wow.
kind of did it like I did it. This is all
There's kind of like a pattern too, like it has ridges or something.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, so I have a really important question for you. Do you think that a goat could do that?
A goat.
Yeah. Do you think a goat could knit?
Did you say a goat?
Yeah. No? A goat can't do that? Oh, okay.
Yes.
Well, they kind of have hooves.
No.
Yeah. Let's see if I can zoom in. Oh, yeah. They kind of have hooves, right?
Yes.
Okay. Well, no, goats can't do that. The other thing I wanted to ask you, I have something I want to ask you. Did you know that goats have horns?
Yes.
Yeah, they have horns, and sometimes they have beards.
Really?
Yep. Yep, they've got beards. Yeah. So I want to thank you very much
You are
for everything that you've done.
You are
Thank you for showing us your crocheting. It's kind of like knitting,
kind of
but not the same. All right.
I appreciate it.
Enjoy.
Okay, say goodbye.
So that was my wife. She was doing this really cool demonstration on crocheting. So that's knitting. So this story is about a goat that knits. So let me ask you, is this going to be a true story? Probably not, because I don't think real goats can knit. But it is a great story. So we call this a fiction story. And fiction stories are where we get to use our imagination and really think about fun things. This is called How to Knit a Monster, and if you could see, there's a goat there. She's doing a lot of knitting. So I'm going to read you this wonderful story called How to Knit a Monster. Greta is a goat, a white goat. When she goes outdoors in the wintertime, she's almost invisible. She is a very, very good knitter. She knits socks for everyone she knows and for many she doesn't know. Today, Greta decides to knit something different. How about a whole goat? She tries a little one first. Click, click, clickety click go her knitting needles. And before long, a little goat slides off her needle. What fun! Greta knits more little goats so they can play together. That'd be kind of neat if we could knit something and it would come to life, right? Mean Mrs. Sheep marches into Greta's house. I'm a much better knitter than you, she says. Much faster, and my work is more beautiful. You knit too loosely. You drop stitches. What on earth are you knitting now? What a mess. Greta is upset. She isn't watching her knitting. See how big her knitting is getting down here? Boy, Mrs. Sheep isn't very nice, is she? I think I would be upset, just like Greta. We'll see who knits the fastest, Greta thinks, angrily. Click, click, clickety click go her needles. Mrs. Sheep keeps talking. Greta still isn't watching her knitting. She decides it's finished and ends it off. Ooh, that's getting pretty big. And a wolf jumps off of the needle. The little goats run away. He gobbles up Mrs. Sheep, wool and all. Greta runs into the storage closet just in time before the wolf can gobble her up too. Now what? Ooh. She has an idea. In the closet, she hastily knits a tiger. Click, click, clickety click. She kicks the tiger out of the closet. The tiger gobbles up the wolf, fur and all. What's that noise? It's the tiger lying outside the closet door and licking his chops. I smell a succulent goatee, he mutters. I'll have goat for dinner. Greta is afraid. I have to get rid of him. What should I knit now, she wonders. Something even bigger. Something even more dangerous. Click, click, clickety click go the needles. The tiger is still muttering, "Succulent goatee." Something is growing on Greta's needles. Something big, something dangerous. A monster. Greta is smart. This time she keeps the last stitches on her needle. She pushes the monster out of the closet, but she doesn't let go of its tail. The monster gobbles up the tiger, fur and all. Now let me ask you, if I had this scarf and I started pulling on these threads, I could probably take this whole thing apart, couldn't I? I could unravel it. We call that unraveling. If you've ever had like a string on your shirt or something, you start pulling on it, comes out, we can unravel things, right? So Greta's pretty smart. Then Greta pulls the monster back. Riffle, raffle, whoosh. She unravels her knitting. Riffle, raffle. First the monster. Riffle, raffle. Then the tiger. And finally, riffle, raffle, whoosh. The wolf. Look at all that yarn. And there is Mrs. Sheep. Sorry, Greta, she says. You're a great knitter. So fast, so even, such beautiful work. Greta smiles. I wonder why Mrs. Sheep is being so nice now. After Mrs. Sheep goes home, Greta puts new stitches on her needles. What next? I know, thinks Greta. I can knit some fresh green grass for the little goats. She daydreams happily about the little goats playing on the grass. And guess what? She doesn't watch her knitting. What do you think she's knitting? Did you guess a crocodile? Because there it is. I think that's a great book, How to Knit Your Monster. The thing I really like about it, or How to Knit a Monster, the thing I really like about it is that it kind of teaches us a lesson, right? Mrs. Sheep wasn't very nice to Greta, right? But Greta, she kind of learned a lesson, and Greta kind of saved her life at the end, right? So I think it teaches us, we ought to say nice things or maybe not say anything at all, right? How to Knit a Monster is really cool. A story about a goat who knits. A lot of fun. Boys and girls, hopefully I'll see you next time. Won't get sick. I look forward to coming in your class soon. Thanks for listening, and talk to you later.